This is Very Bold Radio and Podcast with your host, Steve Teel, bringing encouragement through God's Word and through inspiring interviews. Go to verybold.com for information and updates, and email steve@verybold.com. And now here's your host, Steve Teel.
Steve Teel, Very Bold Radio and Podcast, and it's a treat. We got Jacob Coates up in the Midwest in Gary, Indiana. And Jacob, first of all, before I tell people about you, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Got some good sleep. Doing all right.
What's good sleep look like these days?
Just sleeping through the night. I'm pretty restless. A lot on my mind, and just always thinking about what I got to do with the field, and always worried about oversleeping. So if I can just sleep soundly through the night, I'm happy.
Man, all right. Well, I'm going to be praying for you for that as well. So that's good stuff. All right, Jacob. Let me tell our listeners and our viewers a little bit about you, and I'm just going to use some of your most recent bio. We're talking to professional baseball player and pitcher Jacob Coates. This guy is a flamethrower, heating it up. You've hit 100 miles per hour, right?
Unofficially, yes.
Unofficially.
Officially, it was 99.6, but on the scoreboard, I had a couple that read 100, and my parents were there when I hit 101. So if you ask me, it's unofficial, but my dad claims I've been up to 101. So.
Come on. Speaking of Gary, yeah, 101. That's right, Dad. Come on, we're all with you. That's crazy, man. Yes, that is so hard for us to fathom. And now you're playing independent baseball, and I want to know what that is like. We've talked to you over the years. How many times have I got to interview you? Do you have any idea?
I think this is number 3.
This is just 3?
I believe so, but we've met up a couple times and hung out a little bit, so maybe it feels like more, but I believe this is officially number 3.
Because you're smart. We did that first interview. I know that was like a marathon, and I know we're going to keep this one short because you got a ballpark to go to. Short, yes, relatively short. Yes, but and then the second one, did I get to interview you on the road back to 100? Did we get that in?
I believe so. I'm almost certain, yes.
And you think that was the second one?
Yes, sir. That was
okay. All right. Well, I know this is really dynamic radio for people that are tuning in as I'm just getting the facts straight from Jacob Coates. But let me tell you a little bit about him, just what he did last year. First of all, he's come back from what is known as Tommy John surgery. That is massive. And you were out of baseball just rehabbing for about how long?
It was almost 2 years to the day. Between my last game and then the one back that came back too. So that's tough. It's tough anyway, but when you're doing it, kind of on your own, you don't have a field to go to, you don't have anybody to answer to, for lack of a better word. It's tough to kind of keep yourself accountable and see the light at the end of the tunnel, kind of thing. But I've got a really good support system, and I mean that. My family, my now fiance, girlfriend at the time, but now my fiance,
what's her name?
That's Emily.
What's her name? Emily. Got to shout her out.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out Emily. She graduates tomorrow. So big shout out.
My gosh. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
okay. All right. By the time she sees this on YouTube, she will have graduated, but yes. Congratulations to Emily.
Yeah. But honestly, that actually helped a lot. Was, she's worked and kind of taken the long route to graduate, but she was working really hard at what she was doing. I was working hard at what I was doing, and not a lot of glory in what we were doing, but we knew that this is what we want to do with our lives, and this is what we're being called to do. So, kind of having that like-mindedness has really helped a lot. So,
talk about, as you look back, just at that journey, it would have been, I don't know the percent of guys that when they go through Tommy John surgery and everything and rehab are just like, you know what, maybe it's just time to walk away. Like, what kept you going? I mean, what was your purpose and your why?
Well, for one, the day I tore it, I was sitting 99 miles an hour. So I'm like, man, I'm this close to hitting 100 officially. Yeah. Like, I've got to, if I can do this, if I can make it through, I've got to at least try. The second one, which I don't hear a lot of other people talk about, but I thought, like, playing catch with my son.
Whoa.
when I have a son, don't have any kids right now, but when I have my son or daughter, I would love to be able to just toss the ball around with them, baseball, football, softball, whatever it is. And like, man, if my UCL is torn, that's going to be agony every time I'm throwing with them. And some of my favorite memories are going to the field with my dad and just us two. He's done me batting practice, and we still play catch. So he's 55 now, but he still plays catch with me sometimes twice a week.
Come on.
So he's crazy enough and brave enough to hop back there when I'm not the most accurate sometimes. So getting to do that with my son and then getting to continue to do that with my dad were huge motivating factors. It was like, man, I'm not ready to give this up yet, and to stop playing catch with dad. So that helped a lot, of course. Obviously, I love the game of baseball. I love being able to play it. I feel God's presence when he heals me the most. Kind of like, hey, that's hard proof that I can hold on to. Like, God is real. He healed me. He's done it before. He's done it multiple times, and I'm sure there'll be times for him to do it again. So, all those things on the day to day, just kind of on the hard days. It's easy on the good days, but on the hard days, that's what really kind of keeps you going.
Yeah. Describe for us a hard day when you were rehabbing. I mean, for 2 years out of the game, on your own, you don't have an organization behind you that's, like you said, holding you accountable or supporting you. And you just kept grinding and kept going because of those reasons. But what was a hard day like?
Man, it just kind of depended. Throughout the process, it always looked different, but there would just be days where I'm just kind of just me by myself. And sometimes it's the velo number wasn't where I wanted it to be when I'm throwing, but sometimes it's just a feeling or the arm felt dead or whatever. And there were those where I'm just like, man, what am I doing? Like, I'm 25, 26 years old. I've got buddies with kids already and houses and everything. And I'm, keep pushing at this, throwing this little white rock around, just kind of like, dude, like how dumb can you be sometimes, and then that was typically followed up by another good day the next day or at least soon,
Yeah.
But there were some times just alone. I mean, you've seen the facility. I would just typically be by myself and just in there, just me and God battling it out. And, just kind of feel like, man, what am I doing sometimes? This is foolish. It's just time to just go gently into the night, I guess. And, a lot of battles, mental battles, emotional battles.
How does God help you through those mental battles? Because they talk about, especially it seems like in baseball, I mean, all of professional athletics, but baseball is so mental. Like, how does God help you through those battles when you're feeling like, what's the point? Or you have, 2 bad outings in a row or 2 bad days in a row. Like, maybe I should just walk away. How does God help you? How do you reach out to God? I just asked 28 questions, but you can handle it.
I mean, you and I have talked about, spiritual realm and, demonic attacks and attacks from the devil. And to me, I really try to pray for God to just keep those thoughts out of my head. And of course they come in, but I rebuke it in the name of Yeshua. I rebuke this, kick this out. If this is not from you, please cast it away. And it always has been cast away every time. I think he just helps protect my mind. I will be honest, the Tommy John process was a lot better than when I had my hip surgery. And I mean, that's clearly just him protecting my mind and answering prayers of rebuking those attacks and just keeping it from kind of spiraling and digging the hole deeper and deeper and deeper.
Right. Man, that is good stuff. So for you, a big part of it, really, I love this too, just as a Christian ball player and as a Christian disciple, just understanding that it's not just mental, that it is spiritual.
Yes,
and so being alert, it makes me think of, 1 Peter 5:8, just sober-minded, sober spirit, and then be of alert. Your adversary, your opponent is prowling around, looking to devour someone, and just recognizing that. So then when you feel those fiery darts coming, you're able to block them. You're able to rebuke them and send them out. That's amazing, man. I love this testimony.
Not always super successful about it or as timely as I'd like to be, but I really do try to pray for that. My parents pray the same. I've had you pray the same. Like, just having, again, that support system and the power of prayer, really does help. Just kind of keep your mind, keep you above water there.
Yeah, yeah, man, that's good. All right, I haven't even got to some of the stats, and then we'll talk more about the mental and spiritual aspect. And like I said, I want to know more about just indie baseball and the highs and the lows. And I want to know like where you travel, where you guys play, and where the best crowds are. What are the crowds like? And in Gary, the South Shore Rail Cats. I got to get myself a hat.
Yes, sir.
Don't you get me one. I'll go on Amazon. I'll find one on their website. So the South Shore Rail Cats, I got to get one before you pitch in Fort Worth. So I'll be set. I know you'll have a bunch of fans when that's coming. So
yes, sir, absolutely.
but last year was your first year with them, and before then you'd been with the Houston Astros organization. And professional sports are pretty cruel. I mean, you hit 100 miles per hour. We're so close, and then there goes your UCL joint. Is that what it is? You've been talking about it, and I just
yes, sir. Ligament. Yes,
ligament.
Sir.
Sorry,
Yes,
UC ligament. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
And then you're just on your own.
Yes, sir.
I mean, yeah, that's crazy to me. But anyway, so last year you came back, signed with Gary up in Indiana, and just off your team's bio, and we've talked about it a little bit because I didn't even realize you'd become the closer, baby. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. 13 saves last year. 2.89 ERA according to the website. If they're right, if they're wrong and it's 2.75, we're gonna call it out.
289. Yes, sir.
Okay, opposing hitters hit 195.
Yes, sir.
Woo!
Yes, sir.
Let's go. And you were selected to the 2025 American Association All-Star Game, which was in Fargo, North Dakota. Man, what a season. What a season coming back. Talk to us. I got two-part questions because I wanted to ask one earlier. You were talking about loving the game as well, not just thinking about playing catch with your dad and with your son. What is it, first of all, that you really love about the game of baseball? If you were trying to explain it to somebody who's never seen baseball, never played baseball, what is it about baseball that you love?
I mean, a lot of different things.
Okay.
As a fan, I love that it's slower paced. You can have a conversation with whoever you're with. You can go, grab a bite to eat or go to the souvenir shop and come back and not really miss. You'll be caught up. You're going to just be like, man, what the heck happened? How did they get here for the most part?
Yeah.
It's a slower pace. Not everything is so just go all the time.
Yeah.
When I was a teenager and kind of a punk or really a big punk and kind of button heads with my dad a little bit, bad attitude and stuff. But, no matter how far gone, not just me and him, but no matter how far gone you are, you can always come back and watch a ball game and connect over that. So that's a huge part. I love the connection to the past. I love that there's such a history of, talk about the stats, and you can talk to anybody, no matter how big or small of a fan they are. They know somebody. Oh, my dad used to love so-and-so player. And, oh, yeah, I grew up in this city. And, the Cubs were really good at this time. And, Ryan Sandberg and, all the greats. But then also the guy's just the average guy. It's just somebody who meant something to somebody, something to kind of look forward to after, a long week of work, whatever. The connection to America. I love my country. I'm very patriotic. I'm sorry. And, it really is America's pastime. You feel it. It's just something about summertime, something about when baseball's doing good, America's doing good, or maybe vice versa.
I like it.
It just really feels like, there's a connection there. And, the national anthem before every game and America the Beautiful in the seventh inning, you can't beat it.
Wow, I love it, man. I feel like we're in a Field of Dreams moment right now.
Absolutely.
Man, it's baseball, Ray.
Yes, absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah. So, but then as a player, it's exhilarating. Getting to go out there and do your job. Man, it really gets the adrenaline going, and it just feels like, man, you work so hard. I told my dad one time, like, be at the field 9, 10, 11 hours sometimes, 6 days a week. If I get in one time during the week, that's max 15 minutes of doing all this preparation, all these hours, all this time there to prepare for those, to try to do the best I can for those 15 minutes. And it's all worth it. But, especially when it pays off, especially when you get the hold, you perform the way you want to, you execute what you've been working on. It's just like, oh my gosh, man, the blood is pumping, the heart's pumping, the nerves are there, the crowd is into it, and there's just really no feeling like the ball coming out of your hands. So.
That's awesome. When you were growing up, and I know we probably covered this in one of our 38 interviews, actually, too. But when you were growing up, I mean, you could have been an outfielder, you could have been first baseman with your size and everything. Was it just the arm that made you a pitcher, or was it that control, like being on the mound? I mean, it's you. You mano a mano against 9 different guys. I mean, what was it for you?
I didn't have a good arm growing up, so that was part of it. But I really did just like being the guy up there. I remember my first time we were doing kid pitch, where we were the ones throwing. I was starting pitcher for the first game, and then for the next game they went to somebody else. And I understand, you said I was a starting pitcher. I was the guy. Why are we going back to me? And understanding that other guys need turns and rest and all this stuff. But I really did like being the feeling of being the guy up there and being the one to put our team in a position to win. So I used to like hitting. I liked to play in the field, but I loved pitching. I always loved pitching.
Okay, talk to us about the role now of closer. Were you a closer ever at like Houston Baptist or at junior college, or were you? I don't remember. Just remind me.
I was both places. I was a reliever, just like middle reliever, my first year, and a starter my second year. So this was this past season was the first time being like a true closer. I was a setup guy for half the year, and then they moved me into the 9th inning. And I really like the routine of it. Hey, everything is gearing up. This is my inning. If this situation is happening, there's no guesswork. It's like I'm getting in the game, and that's a lot of fun. And then just the adrenaline and everything of it's, hey, this is do or die. We have worked. My guys have worked so hard to get us the lead, and you don't want to be the one to blow it. You want to reward them and with a win and get to celebrate. So it just really gets everything going. You just leave it all out there. You don't have to reserve anything back, or hey, I've got to think about pitching the 10th or the 11th or anything. It's just hey, this is it right here. I'm going to be the one to slam the door shut.
I love it. I could understand not having gone through that, but just thinking of the routine of that, just knowing that sometimes when you're middle relief and maybe you're pitching a couple of times a week, but you go in the 3rd inning because they need you in the 3rd inning. You go in the 6th inning. Man, I can't imagine just again that mental game of expecting that. It would be nice, even though there is kind of more inherent pressure in coming in the 9th, but it seems like you thrive on that kind of pressure.
Yes, sir. And it's actually kind of made it hard to not be in that situation. There's no fans on the spring training games and stuff. And just like, man, there's like it's hard to get the heart rate going and really, let it fly like I could when there was some pressure on. So, definitely missed that. Definitely ready for some fans in the stands.
That's awesome. Okay. Tell us just about, you talk about like 12-hour days, 14-hour days. Can you give us an example of a day like that, just so we can kind of go through? I mean, you're waking up. Usually when I think of ball players, it's waking up later in the day but of course during training, your schedule's been different. But give us a typical day, whatever kind of day you want to choose for us, but a long day. So
if it's a 7:00 start, typically with Gary, we'll play catch around 3:30. When I was on Asheville, it was a little bit earlier, but 7:00 start. So everything's pushed back. So if we're playing catch at 3:30, that doesn't mean you're showing up ready to go. It's like you're hot, you're loose to everything you need to do to go right then. We'll typically have like a pre-catch play meeting, sometimes 10 minutes, sometimes it can be 15, 20, whatever. But you're ready to go. So I'm typically getting there no later than 2:30. 2:30 is like, man, I need to get going. So I like to roll a little bit early. I like to kind of take my time and not what we call letting the game speed up on us. So I'll get there probably, 2:15, get dressed, maybe take a hot shower, just kind of loosen up the body a little bit. We also have like a little hot tub, kind of like in Major League, not a spa, but like just a tub to sit in and kind of warm up a little bit. See the trainer if I need, anything's kind of bothering me or a little bit extra tight, and I'm rolling out. So if just to clarify, so get there at 2, get dressed, get the clip, get our laundry loops, get dressed. Then 2:30, I'm rolling out, take a lacrosse ball and try to roll out everything on my body.
Okay.
I typically roll out more than other guys. Some guys are more activation based, but I like to kind of get everything loose, do some mobility, do some stretching. And then 3:30, I'm rolling out there with my cleats on. Have our meeting. Then I'll do my bands. I'll do what we call plyo throws, which are you're just throwing against a wall. You're not throwing it necessarily to your partner, but you're just trying to feel something. Like, you're not so much worried about being accurate or making it look right, making a move, whatever. It's just like, hey, I'm trying to feel X, Y, Z, and then take that into my catch play. Typically play catch 90 feet to 120 feet. The guy I'm throwing with, he was there last year as well. He's from San Antonio, and he likes to extend a little bit more, go a little bit further. So, kind of depending on the body, but no more than like 210 feet typically.
Wow.
Just kind of lightly, just kind of airing it out. We call it, airing it out, getting air underneath the ball, throwing it kind of on an arc, not on a line, throwing it hard.
Right.
Just something to kind of gently get the body going.
Okay.
Then we'll work it back in. We'll, work on our different pitch shapes, fastball, try to get the slider doing what we needed to do, throw some change ups. And then we have the option if what we call side bullpen. So not a full effort, letting it rip, but just kind of working on some stuff. We'll go on the bullpen, get on the mound, throw 10 to 15 of each pitch, or 10 to 15 total work on each pitch.
Okay.
Then we'll roll right into batting practice. Batting practice for pitchers is boring because we're just sitting there shagging. They're hitting at us, and all the fun ones the outfielders go and get because they're working on their reads and getting better. We just kind of get the ones that are in the gap and walk over there. But there's worse things in the world. But if you ask most pitchers, like, I got to shag BP.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, so that'll be 45 to 50 minutes typically if we're at home. Then we roll in, go inside, take a little bit of a break. The other team is hitting batting practice. During that, you can see a trainer, get a snack, call mom and dad, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, hey, we're gearing up for game time. So, that'll probably be around 5:15 or so. Got a little bit of a break. So I typically grab a snack, go take a shower. It's hot and sweaty.
Yeah.
Don't want to be nasty. So take a shower, warm the muscles back up, and then I go roll out again. So first one I'm doing is just kind of like a check through, feel what I need to feel. And then a lot of times when you're throwing, it's like, man, like my quads are a little bit tight, my back's a little tight, whatever. So I'll hit it again. And I have this full routine I do, full, stretching, mobility, all this stuff I do.
Yeah.
I try to be out for first pitch, excuse me, for first pitch, and the anthem and everything. But if I'm going back-to-back days, sometimes I need a little bit extra time. And
Okay.
when it's cold, I try to chill in the clubhouse, so I'm not, or I guess hang out in the clubhouse, so I'm not getting chilled.
Yeah.
He'll keep the body ready to go, and then I'm rolling out there, and I get going, and then just waiting until fifth or sixth inning, I'll start getting moving around and try to gear up for the night.
Okay. All right. Tell us, and then, just to finish the night, let's say then a ball game goes 7:00 till 10:15. And then what's the post game look like?
They typically have a meal for us. Typically have a little meal. My adrenaline is going, my heart rate's going. I'm hot and sweaty. So, man, I don't want to have this hot meal. So I'll, grab me a plate, but I'll set it aside. I have some workouts I do for my shoulder, keep the, cuff strong and everything moving right. And then typically I'll try to get a lift in after that. So really my day isn't ending until game ends at 10. I'm probably going until 11:15-ish. Then it's, shower again and get dressed and try to head home from there. So you got a full day of, being there at the field and not a whole lot of just hanging out. And that's if there's no rain delays or extra innings or anything like that. So they can be long days, but it's kind of like, well, this is what I'm here for. There's no place I'd rather be.
Right. Okay. After a game, you have eventually you have their meal. Are you still hungry? Do you get food? And tell us a little bit about independent baseball. You are staying in a host home. Is
Yes,
that
sir.
correct? Yeah.
Yes, sir. So yes, like I said, since the adrenaline's going, I'll eat as much as I can. But I'm typically not hungry until usually 1 or 2 in the morning. At the earliest. Sometimes it's going and you just kind of forget, oh man, I haven't eaten. So I've got about 40 minute drive home. Sometimes you grab something on the way, but
35, 40-minute drive?
Yeah. It's a good little drive.
Okay.
Gary can be a little bit of a rough town.
Okay.
So we all kind of stay out of the city. And
Gotcha. Okay.
some guys are, 20, 25 minutes. Some guys are, 30,
Okay.
34. I guess more closer to 35 on the longest, but
Okay.
with traffic, it can get a little bit longer. So yeah,
Okay.
it can be a grind, those
Yeah.
drives home, but I actually kind of like them. Sometimes I call my parents, like if I don't pitch, I call my parents on the drive home, but typically I just kind of use that as like, hey, I'm going to try to decompress a little bit, think about the game, think about everything. And then that way, when I get home, get back to the hotel or whatever it may be, then I'm just being a person again. I'm not a ball player. I'm just a person. Not when you first get the address, like, oh man, it's a good drive, but it actually ends up being pretty beneficial.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, the indie ball grind can be pretty rough sometimes. It's a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, playing is a lot of fun, but you're staying with the host family and different hours, and the host families I've been with both been super nice, great people. But they get up at like normal people times, and I'm typically not getting up until 11 or 12
Right.
most days. So sometimes they run the vacuum, and you're waking up, and you're like, man, you're just so exhausted. And here's the vacuum. Or, you got a little bit of a gap, and you try to do some laundry, and maybe got something that's like, oh man, like dude, I'm so tired. I don't want to wake up early to do laundry.
Right.
But you still gotta do all that, and that's just being at home. But then a lot of times we'll play 3-game series, typically, sometimes 4, but typically 3.
Okay.
And we'll play 6:30, 7 o'clock. Game will end at 9:30, 10 o'clock. It's get a meal, get showered, get on the bus, and then we're driving 9, 10, 11 hours through the night. Get in, 6, 7 in the morning. Try to get a good nap in, a little bit of sleep, but then you still got to get up, get some food in you, and then head to the ballpark around 3:30 or 4 when we're on the road.
Wow.
Food isn't always the best. Sometimes it's not exactly what you want to eat, to put it nicely. Sometimes the hotels are, kind of rough, and like, one of the places I was in last year, my bed had bed bugs, and that was the first only time I've seen that. And sometimes they're not the cleanest, but there's certainly worse things in the world. It's like, hey man, I'm still getting paid to play ball and getting enough money to just kind of pay the bills and keep going. So it's worth it. But there are some days where it's like, man, like I'd much rather be there's other stuff I'd rather be doing right now. But then you head to the ball field, and it's like, oh, it's all good.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Tell us a little bit, and we're going to shut it down just because I know you got to go pretty soon here. So, but tell us a little bit about like what it does look like with your kind of strange schedule compared to regular people, but making time for God and maybe making time for Bible study or whatever the things are that help you to keep your faith strong and growing.
Right. Well, one, like I mentioned, it's a slower paced game. And there is a lot of what we call hurry up and wait. It's like, we got to go. And then you're just kind of sitting around. So you actually end up really having some really solid conversations with your teammates, with your coaches, whatever. Our pitching coach, Kent Willis, great guy. One of my favorite pitching coaches I've ever had.
Awesome.
He's actually one of the main reasons I came back to Gary this year. He's a man of faith, and we'll have some really good conversations. And, you kind of get to know each other on a deeper level. Say family has health problems, like, hey, would you pray for so and so? And oh man, this is going on. Would you pray for me here? So those being worked in really do help to keep like, hey, I'm here for a reason. I'm here. This is my platform. This is what I'm playing baseball, but that's not the main goal here. We pray before catch play every single day. That's nice. Typically have somebody else lead it, one other different person lead it and kind of kick it around. So that's nice. Teammates chilling in the bullpen, but until it's time to get going, having those conversations. So that's huge.
That is huge.
Some days we do have a chaplain come to the ballpark, and he'll have a service for us. And we're on the road. The chaplain comes to us, and sometimes we'll do it all, both teams together, and sometimes it's each team is separate. But that is a really nice thing, especially with being in indie ball. Sometimes it's hard to find people that are willing and able to come and talk to you about it. And, there's no glory in it, no money in it for sure. But, just people that are like, hey, these guys are, chasing after God and want to stay connected. So you play Sunday day games, you got to get there early in the morning. So you don't have time to go to church. And then you play Saturday night games, so you can't go to church the day before. So
right.
Having those chaplains there, combined with the prayers and the conversations, find more time than you think.
Awesome. Yeah. That's good. All right. Really last question or two. Just what, obviously your home ballpark there in Gary's your favorite, pretty good fans there, I imagine. I don't know, in independent baseball, are we talking about 500 fans, 1,000 fans? I mean, what are we talking about? Generally?
It really just depends on the night and the location. Okay. Last year we were in Sioux City, pretty small town, and it was like 41 degrees. And I think there was like 20 people in the stands.
Okay.
So, it's like, man, I don't blame you. Nobody wants to come to this game,
right.
Like I totally get it. And then we went back for the 4th of July and it was completely sold out. Same city, same teams, completely sold out. So that helps a lot, really, I guess it just kind of depends. We get some great fans, man. We were pretty rough at the beginning of the year. And the second half, we were pretty dang good. We were one of the best teams in independent baseball for a good little stretch there. And man, our fans were right back in it. They were with us the whole time, but especially once we started getting hot, man, they were excited and there was a buzz in the city. So that really made it like, when I was thinking like, where do I want to go this year? Like, man, I want to be a part of that. I don't want to miss out on us being good and doing something cool here. So this isn't just a PR answer. Like I think we really do have the best fans in the league.
I love it.
And people who really like actually care about the Railcats,
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. All right. Give me, this is the last question for real, I'm pretty sure. Last year, just give me like a game that was kind of one of your favorite sort of highlights. Maybe you're coming into a really tough situation, whatever, bases loaded or 2 guys on, or no, you start the 9th usually just fresh, right? So just give us a favorite example of last year or a highlight.
That's tough because there's a couple.
Okay. We can take a couple.
I think my favorite was in Kansas City. My parents came to see me. So this was the first games they were seeing.
Yeah.
In my return from Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
And it was like my first, I think it was probably the first series where they're like, hey, you're going to be the 9th inning guy now instead of the 8th. And we had been pretty rough up until that point. And then all of a sudden the boys got hot. The hitters were hitting, the defense was there. And we were still throwing it. And came in for the save. I think I struck out 2 out of 3. 1, 2, 3 inning. I think one of them was a former big leaguer, so that's always cool.
Oh,
so there's some talent. There's really some talent in this league.
Yeah.
And then that was a Friday night, so my drove through the night, exhausted. Saw my parents for a little bit. Got 3-4 hours of sleep. Closed it out, and then it was a Friday night, so there was fireworks. So my parents got to come onto the field with me and watch the fireworks.
Cool.
So that was pretty awesome. That was a really, really, really cool one. And then that also, probably equal with my first game after Tommy John, first game after the All-Star game. Emily came to see me.
Fun.
And again, got the close on a Friday night. She got to watch the fireworks on the field with me, and first time seeing me after Tommy John surgery. So those, you just, the first one was in June, the second one was in July. So
wow,
they're right there together. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
man. Well, Jacob, anything else you just want to say before I sign us off? Anything you got?
No, I'm just grateful to know you. I always enjoy talking with you, whether it's on the air or just kind of meeting up. I really do enjoy talking with you. I really do appreciate you coming to watch my bullpens. Like, kind of gets the blood flowing a little bit, and
I love it.
Gets kind of into game mode. So, I really do enjoy talking with you. I love what you do. And, just talking about our faith with you is something I really do cherish. So thank you. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for always supporting for me and praying for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you, man. Really appreciate you. Just appreciate your heart for God and who you are. Just a great, great guy. So, I really am blessed to know you at all. And, I'm excited for what God has for you, Jacob.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So, well, that's Jacob Coates, man. He is being very bold for Jesus Christ. I promise you. I've seen him in action. I've seen him share his faith. Like, that's the real stuff. That's not a show. But we want to get him to the show. Just kidding. But I'm so excited for Jacob and who he is in Christ. And man, I'm a big fan in his corner, and I invite you to be too. Pray for him. It all sounds really fun, but it's a grind, and it's a tough career. And I feel like in a way, this is Jacob's calling for right now. And as long as God is calling him to this, I know he's going to answer that call. And we're just asking Jesus to bless him with health and bless him with opportunities to share his faith, because he will. And just have a great season and everything coming up with his wedding and just a lot of exciting things. But Jacob is being very bold. We're Very Bold Ministries, Very Bold Radio and Podcast, Very Bold bunch of things. And that comes from the Apostle Paul when he said in 2 Corinthians 3:12, and this is how we're going to sign it off. Therefore, since we have such a hope, we are very bold.
Very Bold Radio and Podcast with your host, Steve Teel, bringing encouragement through God's Word and through inspiring interviews. Go to verybold.com for information and updates, and email steve@verybold.com.